Welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today I'm working on Brian's 1981 C10 Scottsdale. We're going to make this thing motivate a little faster with some 373 gears. We're going to eliminate the one-wheel peel with a Posi. Compressor. Whatever. It's a real shop. If you want to see what we do, stick around. Glad to have you. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Oh, that's not great. Let's just throw that into the cleaner. Axle seals and wheel cylinders, both. Got a new wheel cylinder on that side, but not on that side. So we need one wheel cylinder and axle seals and axle bearings. Like if I'm doing a brake job, I will absolutely do both wheel cylinders. There's no reason to put one wheel cylinder on and then put brand new brake shoes on the other side and then have the wheel cylinder leak brake fluid all over the brand new brake shoes, which is what happened in this case. I'm going to clean that all off and get a wheel cylinder coming. And let's pull our cover off. So I need a 13 or a half inch to pull my differential cover bolts, and I need an 8mm, and I should have left this in neutral, which I didn't because I'm a dummy. Getting some lunch.
I'm gonna go see if I can get some gas for under $4.10 a gallon somewhere.
For under $4.10 a gallon, good luck. I love that guy. He's so funny. I am very lucky to have the guys I have here working with me. All of them have their place. They all give a little bit that helps me do what I do. Oh, fluid's clean. That's a good sign. Alright. It's got a nice drop kit on it. Spring over flip kit. Somebody glued and tattooed that gasket on there. Oh my god, that thing's huge! That pinion is massive. I'm gonna smell like gear oil. My wife's gonna want nothing to do with me for 2 days. You smell like sulfur. Yes, yes I do. Ugh, I hate the smell of this stuff. Although it's much worse when it's burnt. Let's see what bits Brian brought us to put into this truck. Oh, that's glued down. And stapled. And the pry driver. Oh. Bearings and shims everywhere.
I'll give you a set of keys, an extra key. Demo.
More directions. Oh, no, that's marketing. Ooh, rear axles. Hey, Bill. It's a 9-inch Grand National full floater for $950. Recommended oil, 8090 non-synthetic GL5. That's what we like. Let's pull our shafts out and verify our spline count. 28 spline, Duragrip. large hub, 273 and up, Posi traction, Posi clutches, and there's all my stuff. So my axles look pretty good. Nothing abnormal there. Nothing abnormal there. You always want to check your bearing and seal surfaces on the axle shafts because they'll start to brunel and that will wipe out the axle bearing. And if it's all messed up, you'll need to replace the axle shaft as well as the bearing and race. But there's no damage, so we can reuse these axles. They do make a modified bearing and seal assembly that moves the bearing to a different position, and you can reuse the axles, but it's a better repair to just replace the axle and put the proper parts in, because it just ends up creating problems down the line, but it'll get you through in a bind, I suppose. Alright, let's zip this carrier out. I need my socket. I'm going to bring my tools over here this way. Let's clean off that surface and mark our caps. Hey, USA standard gear. Gives me the right ring gear bolts. I like it. Easy peasy. She's in pretty good health. Spline count's correct. This car is going way better than the Firebird did. Let's see if we can get this thing done today. That would be amazing. Let's pull our drive shaft, and then we'll drop our pinion out. Somebody reminded me of a trick that I had forgotten. And that's to use the axle shaft to pop the axle seals out. And I gotta say, I hadn't done that in years, but it works really well. Thanks for that reminder. See, I listen to you guys as much as you guys listen to me. I appreciate you guys. Got the tool in your hand, why walk over to your box to grab another tool when you can just use a piece that fits perfectly. Of course, now I still need to use my slide hammer to pull the axle bearing out, but that's okay. Alright, my drain is full. Oh, I just got under the drip. Go ahead and put that in the tank. Clean it up. Oh my God, that weighs like 20 pounds. Ding, fries are done. Alright, I need you. There. Grab my tool. That works really well for getting those things off, man. I'm not gonna lie. Come on, give it to me. There we go. 37. It's a 37 thou shim. All right. We'll start there. I do have a number on the head of my new pinion. We'll see if it corresponds with anything that I can come up with on my new setup. So I decided to clean up my yoke. You can see what it looked like and what it looks like after we use it in our vapor hone. It's a pretty cool tool for making things clean. So I've cleaned out my housing. I'm going to install my inner and outer race. Sorry, both of my inner races, maybe. Or I'm just going to drop it back out of there. Sounds like that's bottomed. Oh, pressed my pinion bearing on. I'm going to reuse my old crush sleeve, my old pinion nut, and put it all together and check my pinion depth. And then I'll put together my differential and put it in there and run a pattern to see what we look like. So I set this thing up, ran a pattern. My pattern ended up looking good. This ring and pinion set does not have a etched number put into it for your target depth, so I had to do it the old-fashioned way with musical shims. Not a big deal. I started with the original, I think it was a 32. What was the original shim? So the original pinion shim was a 37. I set it up with that as my baseline since I didn't have numbers to go by. I did take the reading of where the pinion is. It's at it's actually at 2.5758, but no big deal. Can't use that number because I don't have an etching in the pinion or on the ring gear. So we're going to stick her back together. I've already got the pinion in, new crush sleeve, new seal, and my pinion preload is where it needs to be. Now it's time for final assembly, and then I can move on to the other bits, get this car out of here and get paid.
What should I drive for the power tour?
Yeah.
Somebody just commented, the mini bike from Dumb and Dumber.
That would be brutal. That's a little too much backlash. Let's tighten that up a little bit. Closed. Message. Get back to as soon as you can. Oh, that's beautiful. That's what I was looking for. 7th thou backlash. Perfect. Hey, look at that. Easy peasy. Oh, now you're going to drain some more. Leave my bucket. Made in USA? Really? These must be old stock. Made in USA. Wow, I'm proud to put those into this truck. But they're Koyos. I don't think Koyos are made in the USA. Maybe the box was made in the USA. No, it's Koyo, and it says USA. Where's the Koyo plant in the United States? Where's it at? I didn't know there was one here. I thought those were all gone. Let me put some wheel bearing grease in this. Steady. Made in Taiwan. I don't know who made that one. It doesn't have a name on it. But it's orange. Recycle some of that bearing grease and put it on my seal so my seal's not dry. And we'll go ahead and pop these off. They'll need cleaned up anyway. Gravity. So then we take the little rubber cap off the leader and we stick it over top of the line, and then we won't have a puddle of brake fluid all over the floor in the morning. Here's my actuator rod. And my other actuator rod. And what size bore are we? Oh, the light just went out. I'm gonna have to call up the guys from Cyclops and see if they'll sponsor me with some of those lights. Those things are amazing. I love those things. I actually just bought a couple more because I think I lost one. And then, no, I didn't lose one. Because my two new ones are over there. And one's here and one's on the charger. I figured since we're doing all these videos, we gotta let all of our wonderful viewers be able to see what the heck it is I'm doing in this dungeon. Alright, so we can stick this axle back in here. I can get the wheel cylinder in the morning. That way I can button up my diff cover and then I can fill it in the morning. I still need to do U-joints, clean the brakes, put fluid in it, and this job will be done, moving it down the line. Actually went pretty smoothly, all things considered. Well, I got the rear end all buttoned up. I'm waiting on a wheel cylinder. I'm waiting on some brake springs because one of the pieces that aligns the brakes on the back over here isn't in here, and it'll make the brakes not work right. So I'm waiting on a hardware kit and a wheel cylinder, and I'm probably going to put rear shoes on this because it's got riveted brake shoes on this side, it's got bonded brake shoes on this side, so they're different brake shoes from side to side. And this side was all wet with gear oil and brake fluid from the wheel cylinder leaking. So I'm probably just going to put new shoes on it. That way I know he'll have proper braking efficiency and we won't have the risk of the bonded shoes delaminating from the oil contamination. So I'm on a hold for those items. They should be here around 10 tomorrow. I have U-joints to put in this drive shaft. The rear U-joint has a little bit of bind to it, and they're pretty old, so I'm just going to replace them both. That way, brakes, bearings, differential, ring and pinion, basically everything in the back end of this truck will be ready to rock. And he can go out and play. Well, he can go play after he puts 300 to 500 miles on his rear end, and then we change out the gear fluid for a fresh set. And then he can go out and do burnouts and whatever else he wants to do with this thing. Very important to get some multiple heat cycles, not a constant speed break-in or a nitrous applied break-in. Your rear end will last a really long time if you break it in correctly. People make me laugh. Got a young fellow who's got a lowered car. He's like, I want zero camber in the front. Zero camber in the front. On a Honda? That'll ride horribly. Well, I don't want to wear the tires. Well, if you don't want to wear the tires, why did you lower it 3 inches?
Rick, you go back up to the door here.
Okay, yeah, we can load it up. I don't think factory alignment specs will be obtainable with a lowered suspension, but we'll give it a shot. That guy's missing a piece that keeps that aligned, which is why we're going to replace everything. Except for the star adjuster, because the star adjuster that came in the kit is the wrong length. And it makes it so you can't put your shoes back on. Or your drum at any rate. So before y'all roast me for replacing brand new brake shoes, this vehicle has riveted shoes on this side and it has bonded shoes on the other side, and the shoes on the other side were completely oil saturated. So we're going to put all new stuff on it. Just a dab will do ya. Dabble dabble. Long shoe, short shoe. Short shoe goes in the front. Long shoe goes in the back. Got our wave washer. Keep things from rattling. And throw our retainer clip on the floor. Oh. There's that gravity kicking in again. Shoot it across the floor. Snap. Alright, I need to reuse my old adjuster because the new adjuster is too long. It's not by much, but it's just enough to make the drum knot go on because of the difference in length. These star adjusters are right hand thread and left hand thread, depending on which side. It is important that these go back on the same side as they came off of. I like to put a little dab of anti-seize in there, keep them nice and free. This piece was actually missing on this side, and it's actually very important because it aligns this guy up on the shoe, and if it's not there, it creates problems. I usually hang this guy up here like this, stick my nail through the hole. I'm all thumbs today. That's embarrassing. Alright, so that guy is not on right. Let's fix him. Finding all sorts of little bits that are out of place on this one. Alright, now we're straight. I'm going to go ahead and hang my other shoe because it'll help. So the long piece goes to the back where the star wheel is, at least in this case. That's why people hate doing drums. There, bottom guy on. You can just hang these guys right up here. So that they can defy gravity. It's like having an extra hand. Pick up all my stuff I threw on the floor. My other hold down spring on. Oh, no, I want my crossbar in there first. Ooh, I have a hung up brake cable on this side. I'm gonna have to fix that. Backwards. That makes more sense. Oh, it's frustrating. Oh, get to it. Alright, now we'll be less fumbly. Good thing I'm not a football player. No, park brake looks alright. Sometimes these things get bent because people do bad things to them. And then the self-adjuster doesn't work correctly. goes on the back like so. Got a little spring here, it goes on this guy. Pushes him up. This guy goes down there, we'll put him on last. And the other springs. Are waiting for me. I always put this guy on first because it helps lock all this stuff down. Oh, missed. Got it. It would probably be smart to have some safety glasses on while doing this. That guy is next. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that, drum brakes. All new hardware. Works correctly. Small shoe on the front, big shoe on the back. Looks good. Too tight. Take them off a half turn. Bingo. Grab all my tools so I don't deposit them all over the road. Well, there you have a little drum brake lesson. I don't know if you learned anything from that or not, but having the proper tools for doing drum brakes is very important. Makes the job a lot easier. Well, that wraps up another episode of What the Heck is Rich Lucore doing in his shop today. Brian was nice enough to bring us this 1981 Scottsdale for me to put gears in, put a Posi in to get rid of his one-wheel peel. We installed axle bearings, axle seals, new fluid, new diff cover gaskets, new rear brake shoes, hardware, and a driver's rear wheel cylinder because the passenger rear wheel cylinder was brand new, and the brake shoes on the right side were bonded, and the ones on the left, sorry, on the right side were riveted, on the left side were bonded, and the left side was all covered in goo. So goo on brake pads usually breaks them down and makes them do bad things. Put it all back together, topped off my fluids, drove it in some figure eights to seat in the ring and pinion. Drove it about 15 miles, and it is whisper quiet out of the rear end. It definitely has a lot better pickup and go than it did before. Now doing 50, the speedometer is pegged at 85, so speedo calibration is going to be in order. We'll talk to him to see if he wants us to do that or if he's going to save that for a later date. At any rate, thanks for coming along for the ride. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below if you guys have any questions. We're usually pretty good about answering questions. And we have our own questions, so, you know, if you have answers for us, let us know what we do or what we need to do it better. I was reminded in one of the other comment sections about using the axle shafts to pop the axle seals out, and I had forgotten all about that. And I did that trick on this one, and sure enough, it's absolutely a great way to pop those axle seals out. The round end on the axle fits in the axle seal perfectly and pops them right out. So it is what it is, little tricks of the trade. Again, thank you everybody, 25,000 subscribers. That's just amazing. We appreciate you guys watching our bits. Thank you for coming along for the ride. Stay safe out there. Have a great day.